A very happy morning, my dear students. Tell me, how the studies are going on? Hope you all are studying and revising on regular basis. So let us continue chapter number 2, classification of plants. But before that, let's recap what we have done in our previous video, that is part 1 of chapter number 2, classification of plants. I told you that biology, which is a branch of science, it deals with the study of living things. And when we say living things, plants and animals. Then classification. What is the meaning of term classification? A group of arranging living organisms into groups based on their similarities and differences. The organisms with similar characteristics are placed in the same group, and the organisms which have difference in their characters are placed in different group. So this is classification, means categorization or grouping of living organisms. Then advantages of classification we discussed. It is given in your book also. You can read carefully from book. Then earlier the classification of living world was given, according to which there are two kingdom Plantae, which include plants, and kingdom Animalia, which include animals. But this classification has certain limitations, as there are a few organisms which have few characteristics belongs to kingdom Plantae and few belongs to those of kingdom Animalia. So we can neither place these organisms in kingdom Plantae nor in Animalia because they are different. So finally, Robert Whittaker in 1969 has given the 5 kingdom classification, on the basis of which the living world can be classified into 5 main kingdoms, and these 5 kingdoms have further division and subdivision that we will study one by one. First kingdom Monera, second kingdom Protista, third kingdom Fungi, fourth kingdom Plantae, fifth kingdom Animalia. So these are the 5 kingdoms which we will study one by one. Always remember, whenever we study the classification, it always moves from simple to the complex. That means the organism belonging to kingdom Monera are the simplest organism, and the organism belonging to kingdom Animalia are the most complex or most evolved, because human beings belongs to this kingdom Animalia, which are at the topmost level of the hierarchy. So let us study these kingdoms one by one. Okay, students. So this is the flow chart of 5 kingdom classification, which is given in your book, and I told you last time to draw this flow chart in your notebook. So you will give the same heading, 5 kingdom classification, and you will draw this flow chart in your notebook, those who have not done. And consider this flow chart as the mind map of this chapter. So in the bracket, 5 kingdom classification, in the bracket you can write here mind map. So the 5 kingdom classification given by Robert Whittaker, he has divided broadly the living world into 5 main kingdom, as you can see in these red boxes. First kingdom Monera, second kingdom Protista, third kingdom Fungi, fourth kingdom Plantae, and fifth kingdom Animalia. And one more thing I told you, that we always move from simple to the complex. Means here the simplest organisms are there, and in Animalia kingdom the most complex organisms are there. Now I'll explain you this flow chart, discussing this hierarchy one by one. that what are the basic difference between the characteristics of the organisms belonging to these 5 kingdoms. So let us start with the first basic characteristics. First of all, we divide living organisms into 2 types: prokaryotes, eukaryotes. Pro means primitive type of, eukaryotes advanced type of. Karyon, the meaning of term karyon means nucleus. Karyotes, nucleus. And what is nucleus and what is importance, that I will study, that I will explain you afterwards. And first of all, living organisms, prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Children, this reminds me that cell chapter was there in your previous class. So you already have studied about the cell, the parts of cell, the cell organelles and their function, including nucleus. So you are quite aware of this, that nucleus is the central part of the cell. So living organisms can be prokaryotes, eukaryotes. Prokaryotes are those organisms which do not have a proper organized nucleus. Proper organized nucleus means the nucleus is not surrounded by any nuclear membrane. The genetic material is placed in the center without a proper membrane, and we call that as nucleoid, not a nucleus. So prokaryotes means unicellular organisms which have single cell and unorganized nucleus, the nucleus without a proper nuclear membrane known as nucleoid. And these are the characteristics of the first kingdom, kingdom Monera. So we will say the first kingdom is kingdom Monera, and the best example are bacteria. Children, we will study this in detail. So kingdom Monera, what are the 2 main characters? They are unicellular with unorganized nucleus, and their nucleus is known as nucleoid. So kingdom Monera, example bacteria, and main characteristics unicellular and unorganized. Means there is the simple body, single cell body and unorganized nucleus. So they are the simplest organism. Then prokaryotes are there only in kingdom Monera. Then we will move on to the eukaryotes. This we have done. Now eukaryotes means apart from Monera, all other 4 kingdoms have eukaryotic organisms, means they have well organized nucleus with proper nuclear membrane. Now all the organisms are eukaryotes, proper organized nucleus. So next difference will be whether they are unicellular eukaryote or multicellular eukaryote. So the kingdom Protista, the second kingdom, have unicellular organism, but they are eukaryotes, means they have proper organized nucleus. So which are the 2 characteristics of kingdom Protista? They are unicellular and eukaryotes. Example amoeba, euglena, and other examples we will study afterwards. So eukaryotes unicellular is over. Next we will move on to the eukaryotes multicellular, means remaining all 3 kingdoms are multicellular. But in multicellular again we divide whether they are with cell wall or without cell wall. So first we will say eukaryotes multicellular with cell wall. Now with cell wall, you have done in previous class that all the plant cell have cell wall. So with cell wall we divide into 2. Whether the chlorophyll is absent or chlorophyll is present. You know very well that chlorophyll is present in kingdom Plantae. So what we will first we will see with cell wall but without chlorophyll. The third kingdom, fungi. This kingdom the organisms are saprotrophs or saprophytes. Means there is no chlorophyll, so they cannot prepare their own food. They feed on dead and decaying organic matter. गले सड़े फूड के ऊपर ग्रो करते हैं. For example, mushroom, molds, your bread mold, all these are the example of kingdom fungi. So which are the basic characteristics of kingdom fungi? We will see from here. They are eukaryotes, multicellular, with cell wall, but without chlorophyll. Next comes kingdom plantae. They are eukaryotes, multicellular, with cell wall, and chlorophyll is present. Kingdom plantae. And you know, children, all the plants are autotrophs. Auto means self. They can prepare their food themselves because of the green pigment chlorophyll. Now next, eukaryotes, multicellular and without cell wall. You know, all the animal cell are without cell wall. You have done in the previous class. So these are organism belongs to kingdom Animalia, which is the first and most advanced kingdom. And all are heterotrophs, means they cannot make their own food, but they depend directly or indirectly on plants for their food. Kingdom Animalia further of two types, invertebrates, vertebrates. Invertebrate means the animals without a backbone. You know you have backbone, which in common term we say spine, or scientifically we say vertebral column. So invertebrates without backbone, vertebrates with backbone. So Animalia kingdom, eukaryotes, multicellular but without cell wall. Now kingdom plantae. As this chapter is about classification of plants, so we will study about kingdom plantae in detail. Now kingdom plantae, you know very well, children, that there are a huge variety of plants on our planet Earth. All the plants are autotrophs because they have chlorophyll and they can prepare their own food. But kingdom plantae is further divided into two groups, cryptogams, phanerogams. Cryptogams include seedless, non-flowering plant, means they do not bear fruit, seeds and flower. There are three groups, algae, mosses, ferns. Algae belongs to the kingdom Thallophyta, belongs to the group, not kingdom, group Thallophyta. Mosses belongs to Bryophyta and ferns belongs to Pteridophyta. Phanerogams are those plants which have fruit with seeds and flower. So flowering plants with seeds. But again, phanerogams have two groups, naked seeds and seeds enclosed in a fruit. Means gymnosperm are the plant with naked seeds. Naked means without any covering. So that means there are no fruit. Fruits are absent. But in angiosperm, the seeds are enclosed in a fruit. So fruits are present in the angiosperm. So children, if you will say plantae kingdom, algae, mosses, ferns, they are seedless, non-flowering. But gymnosperms and angiosperms, they are flowering plant with seeds. But gymnosperms are without fruit and angiosperms with fruit. So this is our 5 kingdom classification. You can see clearly that how we move on from the simplest to the most complex kingdom. Simplest is kingdom Monera and complex is kingdom Animalia. So this flowchart is the mind map of this chapter. Let us recap. First of all, living organisms are of two types, prokaryotes, eukaryotes. Prokaryote means unorganized nucleus without nuclear membrane. Eukaryotes, organized nucleus with proper nuclear membrane. In prokaryotes, the nucleus is known as nucleoid. Cleoid, nucleoid. So first, kingdom Monera. Children, we will discuss the characters. Kingdom Monera, unicellular prokaryotes. Unicellular prokaryotes. Example, bacteria. Second, kingdom Protista, unicellular eukaryotes. Unicellular eukaryotes. Example, amoeba and euglena. So what is the difference if I'll ask you between kingdom Monera and Protista? Observe here and try to find out the difference. Yes, very true. Kingdom Monera are all prokaryotes, but kingdom Protista are all eukaryotes, although both are unicellular. Next, third is kingdom Fungi. Start from here. They are eukaryotes, multicellular, with cell wall, but without chlorophyll. They are saprotrophs, feed on dead and decaying organic matter. For example, mushroom and molds. Eukaryotes, multicellular, with cell wall, and chlorophyll is absent. So what is the difference between kingdom Protista and fungi? Try to find out. Both are eukaryotes? Yes. But Protista unicellular and fungi multicellular. This is the difference. Next comes the fourth kingdom, Plantae. Eukaryotes, multicellular, with cell wall, and chlorophyll is present. Eukaryotes, multicellular, with cell wall, and chlorophyll is present. And they are all autotrophs, means they can make their own food. So what is the difference between kingdom Fungi and Plantae? Both are eukaryotes, multicellular, with cell wall. But in fungi, chlorophyll is absent. In Plantae, chlorophyll is present. And the last one is kingdom Animalia. Eukaryotes, multicellular, and without cell wall. There is no cell wall. Eukaryotes, multicellular, without cell wall. Kingdom Plantae, which has two divisions, without backbone, invertebrates, with backbone, vertebrates. Then kingdom Plantae, cryptogams, seedless, non-flowering plants. Means there is no seed, no fruit, no flower. Algae, mosses, ferns. And kingdom Plantae, phanerogams, flowering plant with seeds. But gymnosperms have naked seeds, means without fruit. And angiosperms, the seeds are enclosed in a fruit. So children, this was the 5 kingdom classification which I explained you, along with the difference, basic difference among different kingdom, between the 5 basic kingdom. Observe carefully and try to understand and learn this 5 kingdom classification. If you will learn it carefully, your half task of the chapter is done, because this is the mind map of the chapter. You can do it from the book, and those who have not made it in the notebook, just draw this flowchart neatly using pencil and scale. Now your homework. Like in today's class, we discussed 5 kingdom classification flowchart from the book. Now you have to read pages 16 to 18 from the book and underline the important terms in the book. And do the given question answers in your fair notebook. I'll send the question answers which you have to note down in your biology notebook, and complete the flow chart also. Draw the flow chart if you have not done. And children, one thing more, like you have given your physics test on this Monday, next will be chemistry test on Friday, and most probably after that you will have biology test. The syllabus is chapter number 1, and you will learn chapter number 1 from book as well as notebook carefully. So keep on learning. Take care.